The lavish wedding celebration of Lila and Tom, a gathering of the city's most esteemed figures, was in full swing at New York's most luxurious hotel. The sparkling crystal chandeliers, lively chatter, and the harmonious melodies of a live orchestra made the evening perfect. But amidst the grandeur, everything seemed to pause the moment David King, a renowned millionaire, walked in. By his side was a mysterious woman, not adorned in extravagant attire or dazzling jewelry, but dressed in a simple gown that radiated undeniable strength and elegance. All eyes turned toward them. Whispered conversations spread like wildfire across the room. Who is she? Where did she come from? But no one could have imagined that this woman was once homeless, and that David had invited her here not just to surprise everyone, but to confront his ex-wife who had betrayed him. A burning question lingered in everyone's mind. Why would a millionaire like David choose to arrive with her at such a prestigious event? And what will happen next in this already tension-filled evening? Welcome to today's story. Don't forget to follow our channel to ensure you don't miss any meaningful stories every day. Leave a comment below and share where you're following this story from. Who knows, you might connect with fellow story lovers from around the world. Part 1. The Lonely Millionaire. David King, widely known across Los Angeles as the king of real estate, was a millionaire with an immense fortune and a portfolio of prestigious properties. Yet behind the dazzling facade lay a lonely man, scarred by an irreparable wound. The bitter aftermath of his divorce from Lila, the woman he had once loved with all his heart. Lila didn't just leave David. She chose Tom, his best friend and most trusted business partner. This double betrayal struck a devastating blow to both David's personal life and career. When Lila and Tom walked away, David didn't just lose the woman he considered his soulmate. He also lost a significant portion of his wealth, as Tom covertly transferred many crucial projects into his own name. Despite retaining his reputation and rebuilding his career, David now lived a secluded life, channeling all his energy into work and his 6-year-old daughter, Mia. To him, Mia wasn't just his sole source of solace. She was the reason he found the strength to face each day. Every morning, Mia's infectious laughter would wake David as she jumped on his bed, chattering away with her innocent stories. But no matter how brightly her eyes sparkled with joy, David couldn't ignore the sadness hidden behind them. Mia missed her mother, a woman who now only appeared in the form of sporadic, half-hearted phone calls. Despite everything, Mia clung to the hope that one day her mother would return and they could share the experiences of a complete family. David knew that day would never come, but he couldn't bring himself to tell Mia the truth. Instead, he did everything in his power to make up for her absence, striving to be both father and mother to his little girl. Yet when night fell and the glittering lights of Los Angeles stretched across the penthouse windows, David found himself enveloped by the cold silence of his luxurious home, alone with the relentless weight of his solitude. Part 2. The Fateful Encounter. On a warm afternoon, David took Mia to their neighborhood park. The park was Mia's favorite place, a haven of swings, slides, and other children her age to play with. As usual, David sat on a nearby bench, engrossed in a phone call with an important business partner. While he was deep in conversation, Mia excitedly chased after her ball. The ball rolled off the grassy area, across the pathway, and kept going toward the street. Without hesitation, Mia ran after it. From a distance, a car was speeding toward her. It wasn't until a passerby screamed that David snapped out of his call. His heart froze as he turned to see Mia standing in the middle of the road, directly in the car's path. Suddenly, a figure dashed out from the sidewalk. Without a second thought, the person pulled Mia back to safety, just inches from the screeching car. The driver hit the brakes hard, narrowly avoiding a tragedy. David sprinted toward his daughter, scooping her into his arms, his hands trembling with fear. "Is she all right?" came the voice of a woman, shaky yet filled with resolve. Still shaken, but profoundly relieved, David immediately turned to her. "Thank you so much. If it weren't for you, I can't imagine what could have happened." The woman was Anna, a homeless person who lived near the park. Her worn-out clothes and haggard appearance might have made her invisible to most, but her voice carried strength and an unmistakable sense of dignity. Overwhelmed with gratitude, David quickly reached for his wallet, offering her some money as a token of thanks. But Anna shook her head firmly, her gaze unwavering. "I don't need money," she said slowly. "If you really want to help me, give me a job. I need an opportunity, not charity." Her words left David momentarily stunned. It had been a long time since he'd heard someone speak with such conviction. Words so genuine, devoid of self-pity or pleading. David studied Anna closely. Despite her disheveled appearance, he could see the resilience and hope in her eyes. She wasn't someone waiting for salvation. She was someone ready to fight for a chance to rise above her circumstances. After a brief silence, David replied, "If you truly want to work, come to my office tomorrow. I'll arrange a trial position for you." Anna's eyes lit up with gratitude, though she didn't overplay her emotions. She simply nodded and said, "Thank you. I won't let you down." For David, only two things mattered now: his undying love for Mia and his vow to never let anyone use or hurt him again. But could his closed-off heart ever open again when fate presented an unexpected twist? That question lingered in his mind as David watched Anna's figure fade into the distance, his emotions swirling in a way he hadn't felt in years. He didn't know why he trusted her, but he was sure of one thing: she was special. Mia clung to his hand, still trembling, and whispered, "She's a good person, Daddy." David smiled, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "I think so too, Mia. I truly do." Part 3. A Second Chance. Anna officially began her new role as an administrative assistant at David's office, a life-changing opportunity she was determined to seize with unwavering dedication. In the first few days, Anna faced skeptical glances from many colleagues. Some couldn't fathom why David had hired a homeless woman. However, Anna ignored the whispers and kept her focus on her work. She approached every task, no matter how small or challenging, with diligence, precision, and a willingness to go the extra mile. It didn't take long for her to prove her capabilities. Not only did Anna excel in her administrative duties, but she also brought a positive energy to the office. Gradually, those who had doubted her began to respect her professionalism and hard work. Outside of work, Anna formed a special bond with Mia, David's young daughter. In the evenings, when David was tied up with work, Anna would help Mia with her homework or share engaging stories before bedtime. Every time Mia laughed or hugged Anna, David felt a warm sense of gratitude filling his heart. However, not everyone in the office welcomed Anna's presence. Mary, David's longtime secretary, who had secretly harbored feelings for him, began to see Anna as a threat. She noticed that David was paying increasing attention to Anna, and her jealousy grew day by day. One day, Mary decided to act. She devised a plan to accuse Anna of stealing confidential documents from David's desk. During an internal meeting, Mary abruptly claimed that she had caught Anna rummaging through David's desk and that an important file related to a major project had gone missing. David, initially taken aback, asked Anna for an explanation. Though visibly shocked, Anna firmly denied the accusation. "I would never touch anything without permission," she stated resolutely. Rather than jumping to conclusions, David decided to review the office's security camera footage. After a thorough investigation, he uncovered the truth. Mary had secretly taken the file and planted it in Anna's workspace to frame her. Furious, David confronted Mary. "Why would you do this?" he asked, his voice calm but commanding. Unable to avoid the truth, Mary confessed, I just wanted her gone. She doesn't belong here." Disappointed and angry, David responded, "You've worked with me for years and I trusted you. But this act is unforgivable. You've destroyed your own career. As of today, you are no longer employed here." After firing Mary, David turned to Anna with an apologetic look. "Anna, I'm sorry for not believing in you right away. You didn't deserve to go through this." Anna smiled faintly, though there was a hint of sadness in her eyes. "I understand, Mr. King. Overcoming prejudice isn't easy, but I'm grateful you stood by the truth." From that moment, David's respect and trust in Anna deepened. She was not only a dedicated employee, but also a resilient woman who faced adversity with grace and unwavering integrity. Part 4. The Challenging Wedding Invitation. One early Monday morning, David sat in his office, his eyes fixed on his computer screen. Among the incoming emails, one subject line stood out: Wedding invitation, Lila and Tom. David felt a pang in his chest as he opened the email. The wedding was to be held at one of Los Angeles' most luxurious hotels, a venue that would attract the city's wealthiest and most powerful figures. What caught his attention most was the note included: a prominent Chinese investor, Mr. Wang, would be attending. David knew Mr. Wang was scouting partners for a multi-million-dollar real estate development project, an opportunity too good to pass up. However, the thought of facing Lila, his ex-wife who had betrayed him, and Tom, the former best friend who had stolen both his wife and key assets from his company, filled David with dread. The mere idea of watching them bask in admiration from the crowd made his stomach churn. He sat there for a long time, torn between the professional opportunity and the personal pain. Suddenly, an idea came to him. David didn't want to attend alone and appear as the pitiable ex-husband in the eyes of Lila and Tom. Showing up with an impressive companion could change the narrative entirely. His mind immediately turned to Anna. That afternoon, once Anna had finished her task for the day, David called her into his office. "Anna, I have something to ask you, and I know this might sound strange," he began, his tone hesitant. Anna sat down, tilting her head slightly in curiosity. "What is it, Mr. King?" David took a deep breath before continuing. "I just received a wedding invitation. It's from Lila and Tom." Anna's eyebrows rose in surprise, but she said nothing, waiting for him to elaborate. "The thing is, I can't decline. A major investor will be there, and this is a golden opportunity for our company to grow. But I also don't want to go alone. To be honest, I don't want them to see me as someone still alone after everything they've done. So I was wondering if you'd accompany me as my date." Anna's eyes widened in shock. "You want me to pretend to be your girlfriend?" David nodded, his expression earnest. "I know this sounds odd, and I completely understand if you're uncomfortable, but I really need your help. It's just for one evening. I'll take care of everything. Your outfit, our backstory, all of it. I just need you by my side." Anna sat in silence, her face reflecting uncertainty. "David, I don't think I fit in with the high society crowd. They'll see right through me." David gave her a reassuring smile. "Don't worry about that. Just be yourself. You've saved my daughter, you've helped me immensely at work, and you're an incredible woman. That's more than enough. I truly believe no one could do this better than you." Looking into David's eyes, Anna saw the sincerity in his request. After a moment of deliberation, she nodded. "All right, I'll do it. But not for the party or for appearances. I'm doing this for Mia and for giving me the chance to rebuild my life." David exhaled in relief, a warm smile spreading across his face. "Thank you, Anna. I'm incredibly grateful." The two began planning meticulously for the event. David arranged for Anna to try on a series of stunning outfits from a renowned designer, and together they crafted a convincing story about their relationship. While Anna still worried about the scrutiny she might face at the event, David continued to encourage her. "We're not doing this to prove anything to Lila or Tom. We're doing it to seize an opportunity for the future, our company's, Mia's, and yours." The big night was fast approaching, and both David and Anna knew that behind the glamorous facade of the event lay a formidable challenge, one that would test their resolve and strength in unexpected ways. Part 5. The Fateful Night. That evening, under the shimmering lights of the luxurious hotel, David stood anxiously in the grand foyer. His heart raced as the limousine pulled up, and Anna stepped out. For a moment, he held his breath. Dressed in an elegant sapphire blue gown that hugged her figure, her hair styled in a graceful updo, Anna looked like a princess stepping out of a fairy tale. "You look absolutely stunning," David blurted, unable to hide his amazement. Anna smiled softly, a hint of nervousness in her eyes. "I hope I don't disappoint you." David extended his arm with a reassuring smile. "Not a chance." Together they entered the grand ballroom, where golden lights and the soothing melodies of a live orchestra enveloped the space. As the massive doors swung open, all eyes turned toward them. Whispers began to ripple through the room, and Anna's presence quickly became the focus of attention. Lila, standing arm in arm with Tom, couldn't mask her irritation. She had expected David to show up alone, perhaps humiliated. Instead, he was accompanied by a woman who exuded elegance and charm, capturing the admiration of the crowd. David remained calm and composed, exuding quiet confidence. He quickly sought out Mr. Wang, the prominent Chinese investor. Their conversation flowed smoothly, and Mr. Wang expressed genuine interest in the projects David introduced. Anna stood beside David, observing quietly, occasionally chiming in with intelligent and thoughtful remarks that impressed Mr. Wang. However, Lila wasn't about to let the evening pass without causing a stir. After a few glasses of wine, she stepped onto the stage, microphone in hand, her smile thin and pointed. "Ladies and gentlemen," Lila began, her voice laced with mock sweetness, "I'm so thrilled to have all of you here tonight to celebrate our happiness. But I must say, there's a rather intriguing couple in the room that I simply can't ignore." David felt a knot tighten in his stomach, his gaze snapping toward Lila. "David King," she continued, "has brought along quite a special lady tonight. But I think everyone deserves to know the truth about her. She used to be homeless, and I can't help but wonder, what would make a millionaire choose someone like that?" The room fell silent. Curious and judgmental eyes turned toward Anna, their gazes a mix of skepticism and pity. Anna's heart ached, but she refused to let herself be shaken. She stepped onto the stage, her determined eyes meeting Lila's. "Yes," Anna began, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "It's true, I was homeless. But that doesn't define who I am. What matters isn't where we start, but how we live, how we rise above challenges. And I'm proud of the life I've fought to rebuild." The room remained silent, the weight of her words hanging in the air. While some were moved, Anna wasn't seeking pity or applause. With quiet dignity, she placed the microphone back on the stand and left the stage, walking swiftly out of the ballroom. David immediately followed, leaving everything and everyone behind. As he stepped outside, he saw Anna crossing the street. A car sped toward her at a terrifying speed, unable to brake in time. "Anna!" David shouted, but it was too late. The car struck her with brutal force, sending her sprawling onto the pavement. David ran to her, kneeling beside her crumpled form, his heart shattering as he saw the blood staining her elegant gown. "Anna, stay with me. Please, I can't lose you," he whispered, his voice breaking as he held her tightly. The sound of ambulance sirens pierced the tense night air. David refused to let go of Anna, praying silently for her to survive this horrific accident. His heart, hardened by past betrayals and pain, now felt a deeper ache than ever before, realizing just how much Anna had come to mean to him. Part 6. A Family Secret. In the days following the accident, David spent nearly every moment at the hospital, never leaving Anna's side. His heart sank each time he saw her lying motionless, surrounded by monitors and medical equipment. Mia often accompanied him, carrying handmade drawings, hoping they might somehow help Anna wake up sooner. One morning, as David sat quietly beside Anna's bed, a distinguished middle-aged man walked into the room. He was impeccably dressed, exuding an air of authority, yet his eyes betrayed a deep concern. "Mr. King?" The man spoke gently. David rose from his seat and extended a hand. "Yes, that's me. And you are?" "I'm Paul Bennett," the man introduced himself. "I need to talk to you about Anna. It's something very important." David led Paul into the hallway to avoid disturbing Anna. There, Paul began a story that left David utterly stunned. "Years ago," Paul began, his voice trembling slightly, "my wife and I were unable to have children. We decided to use a surrogate. The woman, Cora, agreed to help us and carried a set of twins." Paul paused, seemingly gathering his emotions. "After the birth, Cora gave us one of the babies, a little girl named Nora. But what we didn't know was that she kept the other child. That child is Anna." David's eyes widened in disbelief. "You're saying Anna and Nora are twin sisters?" Paul nodded, regret shadowing his face. "Yes. I had no idea Anna existed until recently. At the wedding, when I saw her, I was struck by how much she resembled Nora. It was uncanny. Afterward, I hired a private investigator to look into it, and that's how I uncovered the truth." David remained silent, grappling with the revelation. Suddenly, many things about Anna made sense. Her inherent grace and strength, her resilience in the face of adversity. I can't believe my own daughter has endured such a life, Paul continued, his voice breaking with emotion. I failed as a father without even knowing it, but now that I've found her, I'll do whatever it takes to make amends. I've already arranged for the best medical team to take over her care. All I ask is that you allow me to be part of her life from now on. David studied Paul, sensing the sincerity in his every word. Still, he couldn't ignore his own deep connection to Anna, the woman who had not only touched his life, but also transformed it entirely. Mr. Bennett, David said after a long pause, Anna is a strong and independent woman. When she wakes up, she'll need time to process this, but I promise to support you in whatever way is best for her. Paul nodded, his expression one of profound gratitude. Thank you, David. I know Anna is fortunate to have someone like you in her life. The two men returned to Anna's room, where she lay peacefully. David took her hand gently in his and whispered, Anna, wake up. Both I and your father are here for you. You're not alone anymore. In the stillness of the room, morning sunlight filtered through the curtains, casting a warm glow over Anna's face. A quiet promise of a new chapter awaiting her, one filled with love, family, and the hope of a brighter future. Part 7, Rebirth. After weeks of being cared for meticulously by the medical team, Anna slowly opened her eyes one morning. The soft light from the window touched her face, and the first thing she saw was David, Mia, and Paul all standing by her bedside. Anna! Mia exclaimed, her face lighting up with joy. She grabbed Anna's hand tightly, her voice trembling with excitement. You're awake. I've missed you so much. David leaned closer, his eyes filled with emotion. You had us so worried. Don't ever leave us again. Anna smiled weakly, but the spark of life had returned to her eyes. Thank you for not giving up on me. In the days that followed, Anna began to recover. Paul patiently explained every detail about the truth he had recently uncovered. He apologized for not knowing about her existence sooner and expressed his heartfelt desire to make up for the years she had endured hardship. Anna, Paul said sincerely, you're my biological daughter. I've missed the chance to care for you all these years, but from now on, I hope you'll return to our family. I want you to join the Bennett legacy, to help build the future of our name. This is where you belong. Anna was speechless. She couldn't deny the deep emotion she felt at learning she had a real family, but she also couldn't ignore the bond she had formed with David and Mia. Looking at them, she realized her heart already had the answer. One afternoon, as Anna rested in a chair in the hospital's small garden, David sat beside her. Mia was picking wildflowers nearby, humming a cheerful tune. Anna, David began, his voice warm and steady, you've changed my life. You didn't just save Mia's life. You brought light back into ours. Mia and I need you, not as a guest, but as part of our family. I can't imagine a future without you in it. David's words brought tears streaming down Anna's cheeks. Her heart had never felt so complete. David, she said, her voice breaking, I need you and Mia too. You're the family I never dared dream of. But, Anna paused, looking into the distance. Paul is my biological father. He deserves a chance too. I want to spend time building a relationship with him. David took her hand, his gaze full of understanding. Anna, I get it. I never want you to feel like you have to choose. If you want to reconnect with your father, Mia and I will always be here, supporting you. Our family will only grow stronger because of it. Anna smiled through her tears, feeling the depth of David's love. I don't have to choose, because now I believe I can have it all. I want to be part of this family and also build a relationship with my father. The day Anna was discharged from the hospital, both Paul and David were there to take her home. Anna felt like a new person, reborn from the pain and losses of her past. Before her lay a bright future, not just with one family but with two, and a love she knew would stay by her side forever. She turned to David and said softly, Let's build a beautiful future, for all of us. David nodded, taking her hand. We'll do it, together. As the afternoon sun bathed them in golden light, Anna walked with David and Mia by her side, Paul following closely with a contented smile. This wasn't the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. a life filled with love, hope, and the promise of rebirth. Part 8. A Perfect Family. 2 years after the fateful wedding of Lila and Tom, David and Anna had built a peaceful and happy life together. Mia, now 8 years old, was the heart of their little family, always smiling and brimming with energy. That day, the garden behind David's house was transformed into a twinkling haven adorned with glowing lights and vibrant wildflowers. A small, intimate wedding was being held to celebrate a love that had risen from past losses and brought renewed hope. Dressed in a lovely white gown, Mia gleefully scattered flower petals into the air, leading Anna down the aisle. Paul, filled with pride and emotion, walked beside Anna, his hand gently guiding her to David. As he placed Anna's hand in David's, Paul smiled with a mix of joy and satisfaction. "Take good care of her," Paul said softly to David. David nodded, his eyes filled with love and determination. The ceremony unfolded in a warm atmosphere, filled with laughter and joy. David and Anna exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to face life's challenges together and to create the family they had both longed for. As the celebration wound down, the small family gathered on the porch, gazing at a sky full of stars. Mia rested in Anna's lap, her sparkling eyes full of dreams for the future. "I want a baby brother or sister to play with," she declared with enthusiasm. "But if it's a brother, he has to listen to me, okay?" David laughed heartily, pulling Anna closer. "See? I told you our family would never be quiet." Anna looked up at the starlit sky, her heart overflowing with happiness. She whispered softly, "Thank you for believing in me, David." David squeezed her hand, his eyes reflecting unwavering love. "No, it's you who brought back what I thought I had lost forever, a real family." Mia's laughter rang out, blending with the gentle night breeze, carrying the joy of their perfect family. Under the shimmering stars, they knew that no matter how challenging the past had been, love and trust could create a future filled with light and boundless possibilities. Thank you for being part of our journey. How would you rate this story on a scale of 1 to 10? We'd love to hear your feedback. It truly inspires us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give this story a thumbs up, and share it with your friends and family.